What's going on, everybody? We thought we'd hit you guys with a quick video on a stock that we think could easily double your money, but we also want you guys to keep your eye on it. So just let us know what you guys think of this style of video. Also, hit that sub button, but without further ado, just give it a razzle dazzle and hop into it.
So as you know, Biden wants to, build 500,000 new electric car chargers by 2030. Right now, the U.S. is, pretty slacking on chargers and everything, and just EVs in general. But just get into ChargePoint real quick. They have 123,800 public charging locations globally, and they think that the U.S. could have 35 million EVs on the road by 2030. That's a lot of EVs. So you need the charging stations and chargers to keep up with that. So they think that would require 2 million public chargers if there's 35 million EVs on the road. So obviously only 500,000 is just obviously not. It's pretty weak sauce. But so ChargePoint is like the big dog in this race with charging stations and everything. So I'm sure that they would get a big chunk of that, and then they could also just build their own, not contracted by the government to make up the difference, because they're going to be slacking. In the last 5 days, ChargePoint is up 47%. Yeah, because Biden just announced his infrastructure stuff, and that was a big part of it.
But like you said, yeah, with it being up 40%, I got in at with 20. I got 20% gain off of it. So I actually just sold this morning, because if we look at this chart, it was trading sideways all day. It was actually up this morning too, and it traded sideways.
It was up like 5%.
Yeah, it had a pullback, but it was trading sideways all morning, and then all of a sudden, it just out of nowhere, the volume went through the roof, and it just tanked off. And if we look at, so this is where I got my information to sell it, is if we look at our stock charts, this is what we pull up before we get into any stock. Usually you want to see the RSI hang around that 50 mark. That's usually a good sign, and above the 50-day moving average. And you want to see this full STO, be around the 50. But clearly everything was pushing upward. So we didn't see, you guys, I don't know if you guys can see this little sliver go down. That was not there this morning. Everything was just rocketing to the moon. So that was telling me that this thing was starting to be bought up like crazy. And clearly it was, because this was up 40%. Because of the whole Biden announcement of the EVs. So I was kind of watching it, and honestly, I saw again, we look at this chart, I started to see this start to go red, and it just started dropping like crazy, and that's when I sold. I was out. I wanted to be out because I wanted to lock in my profits, and, I'm going to wait for the bottom of this this sell-off to buy back in, because ChargePoint itself has a high of almost $50. That's up 60% from $30. So if we've gotten that high, I'm sure we'll get there again. It's just a matter of time. And so that's an easily 60% gain from $30 right now.
So what I was gonna even, when we were planning out this video of what we were talking about, I was gonna, tell all you guys that, in the last 5 days, it's up 47%. So I wouldn't buy right now. And that's why me and him both took profits, because, this was just a quick in and out kind of thing for us, even though we do mostly long-term stuff. But I was gonna tell you guys, even before it tanked, to wait for a pullback, because it was up so high, and then we were looking at those charts and everything, and you could see that it was overbought. So, all these charts really do help. So we knew it was going to tank, and that's why we sold and locked in profits, and we'll just buy back in for the long term. Whenever we think the bottom is.
Right, exactly. And if you look at tip ranks, we'll show you one last thing of the price targets from the analysts. So it has a high price target of $46. That's just off. That's $4 off the high, but it also has an average of 39 and a low of 28. And right now we're sitting at $28. So again, if it hits that $50 mark, and we're sitting at, you bought in at 30, you're going to easily gain 60% off of that. But you got to think, just like what you were talking about with Biden, the Biden administration trying to put out more chargers and EV, push the Americans into that sector, like, this thing's just going to go to the moon. It's going to easily go to the moon, because we need it. We're going to need chargers for these cars, and I think that's going to drive this stock. I think this thing could easily double easily double within, you know, give it another year or so, another year
No,
and a half.
for sure. By the end of this year, I think it will. But yeah, I mean, they went up 47% because of Biden's announcement.
Right.
There wasn't really any other actual news, so that's why we were just in and out real quick, just locking some profits, and then we'll buy back in for the long run. But I mean, sometimes that's just, you know,
That's what you got to do. So don't be afraid to
Right.
take your profits. I know a lot of people are long-term players like we are. We like to hold for the long term, but you cannot be scared to take your profits. And honestly, that's why I took my 20% and I was in and out. And now look, you know, if I'd have to look back and see what I bought it at, but like I'd be up maybe 5% at this point based on this, you know, this morning's tank off. So
right.
Wait for the bottom of the dip, and I'm going to buy back in, and that's what we're going to do.
That's what we think that guys should do is just, you know, wait till you think it's at the bottom and then buy back in.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, a good stock to buy. That's, you know, it could easily double. Just
Right.
I'm not going to tell you guys to buy it now when I knew it was going to tank. So
Right.
you don't want to chase a stock. So
Right. And again, this is not financial advice. We always just try to give you guys the information that what we're doing. We're giving you guys information on what we're doing. We're never going to tell you guys directly to buy a stock. Always do your own due diligence and always consult your own financial advisor or yourself. You know, just be smart about it. It's the stock market. It's always risky. But that's what we're doing. So we sold. We're going to be buying back in at the bottom of this dip. So just let us know in the comment section below. What do you guys plan on doing? You guys plan on buying, selling? What are you doing? But again, let us know what you guys think of this kind of video. Also, hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel. And that's going to wrap up this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.